So how do you determine the right amount of funding for a cyber program? Is it based on the size of your health system, the number of employees, the number of applications, the number of, I don't know, endpoints? What's it based on?
So I look at it as, again, you go back to your quantitative risk assessment, you take a look at your risk management plan, and you also take a look at your strategic plan. I actually think it's more a function of your long range strategic plan in IT more than it is any other factor. And the reason why I say this is because I look at security as something that you now make part of every project and your internal processes. So the amount of funding security gets needs to be commensurate with the ability to protect the assets, people, processes, and technologies that you're utilizing to facilitate the long range plan for the organization.
I want a more concrete answer. You're killing me because I want to. So I'm a $7 billion health system, and we're going to move some applications to the cloud. We've got about 25,000 employees. We've got 16 actual hospitals. We're starting to do care in the home. We're starting to do IoT and that kind of stuff with remote patient monitoring and even some monitoring within the four walls of the hospital. I mean, is there something concrete that you could latch onto to say, hey, look, you're 7 billion, you should have 10% of your budget, of your IT budget should go towards cybersecurity, or 5%, or whatever the long-term plan? Is there anything tangible like that that we could grab onto?
Oh, absolutely. And again, I can break it down. I'd say at least 5 to 10% of your budget needs to be focused on security and security measures. And more importantly, it needs to be built in. And I look at this more as a function of each project. And I look at it as you need to build it into the ROI of every major project you do that doesn't involve actual building construction. And even then you build it into that, but it has to be built in your financial models. And the biggest concern I have is not with security and funding it. It isn't with the amount of funding. Security, 5 to 10%, you can actually do a lot with that. The concern that I have is that people build these huge long-term projects, and I've seen where ROI gets cut to make a project look better, to get a more higher percentage return on investment. So they'll go, IT already does security. And they'll cut out the security portion, they'll cut out the IT portion. To me, the biggest danger of security these days is people cutting out the IT or security parts of ROI to juice the ROI. So we need to have leadership that says you're going to have security as part of your project costs. You're going to have the proper operational staff as part of project costs. Because again, I was telling someone else, the second you have a data breach, your ROI is going negative.